Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and fellows. How are you? I welcome you on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, look, all of us are, we keep learning throughout our life. We keep learning throughout our life. And learning is very, very, very important. There are certain things which we learned during our student age when we were full time student. Then we kept learning by our observation, by our experiences. Certain things we start learning early in the life or early in the practical life. Another certain thing, after quite some time, we do learn it. But all of these are okay. Still, there are certain other life lessons which a person learns too late in their life. There are certain other very important indeed, life lessons which a person learns too late in their life. I think that should have been learnt much earlier. That should have been adopted much earlier. Should have been practiced much earlier. But since we learnt it too late, but still it's okay not to spoil it, not to waste it. Although these are very precious, and it would have been definitely much better to be able to learn it early in the life. Dear friends, today we are going to talk about the lessons like this one, which actually we learn too late in the life, too late in our life, actually which we should have learned much earlier. Dear friends, but these are so much important in nature that we should try to teach it to other people. So, after a very careful consideration, after some sort of research, after seeking help from the other researchers, we have come to a conclusion that these life lessons are eight in number, which are very important on the one hand, but we the human beings learn it too late in our life. But these are actually very important indeed. Today we are going to talk about these very important life lessons. Let's look upon all of these eight. I think each one of these is very important indeed, and it would be much better to learn it as soon as we can, to practice it as much as we can, because these are having the potential and the capability to change our life, rather to revolutionize our life. Let's look upon all of these eight lessons one by one. The first life lesson which we learn too late in our life, that is, define your core values and live by them. Our values are very important, not just the material benefits, but the values are very important in our life. For the reason, my dear friends and fellows, that these are not meant for the material purposes, for the material benefits, but these does tell that we are not the robots, we are not the animals, we are the humans, and we live by our values. We are the good of humans, we are the responsible human beings. For that purpose we have defined our values, our core values, and we are living by all of these. So the values, what is important in the life, and what is the standard behavior, how to measure the thing, whether it is right or wrong. So, dear friends, we need to define our core values, and we need to live by these core values as well. We need to make it as a principle for our life. Now, the second is build meaningful, mutually supportive relationship. Build meaningful and mutually supportive relationships. Indeed, relationships are very important indeed. Dear friends, human being is a social animal. So we are a social animal, not just for the sake of being with each other for some of the time. Rather, it should be based on mutually, it should be a mutually supportive relationship, so that we should be able to help each other at the moment of the need. So it is not just for the sake of chit chat, not just for the sake of spending the free time with each other or enjoying the company of each other. Rather, it must be very meaningful on the one hand and mutually supportive on the other hand. So that was the life lesson number two, which we learn too late in our life. And the third life lesson is invest in your physical and mental health daily. Investment of the money, investment of the time, investment of the energy and the effort, investment of all the resources we are having. We need to make an investment on a daily basis upon what? On our physical health, on our psychological, mental health. So both of these are very, very, very important indeed. And if at all we are losing the balance, I think that will be something absolutely, absolutely wrong. So, dear friends and fellows, I think not just the physical health is important, rather, the mental health is equally important. Rather, I shall dare to say, that if at all a person is, not healthy psychologically, they cannot stay healthy physically as well. So, it is the mental health which is even more important than the physical health. Now, the third life lesson we learn too late in our life, that is the fourth life lesson we learn too late in our life. Focus on developing character and integrity. So it's not only that we have to build the money, we have to build the finances, the other material objects. Rather, we have to focus upon our character. Character is very important, and character is more important than anything else. Character is more important than anything else, dear friends and fellows. I think we must not be ignoring our character and integrity. And if at all we have sacrificed it, it actually means that we don't possess anything else. So for all that reason, building the character and the integrity, that should be of paramount importance. So that was the life lesson number 4. And the life lesson number 5 we learn too late in our life is discover your passions and purpose in life. We need to discover, we need to discover what is the purpose of my life. Is it just for the sake of eating, sleeping, working, and making merry? No, there must be a purpose in the life as well. And then after that, I am interested in certain things. I like to do certain things. I enjoy doing few things, but there are certain other things which are not just for the enjoyment, but these are my passions. I love it. I love it from the very core of my heart. So I think that we need to discover. We need to discover what is the purpose in my life. What is the purpose of my life? What are the passions in my life? I do have to pursue the purpose in my life, but at the same time, I do have to pursue the passions in my life, because it is pursuing the passions in my life makes my life colorful, makes my life enjoyable, makes my life really, really great. So, dear friend, so that is what I love doing. Whatever the good purpose of your life, and whatever is the passion in your life, so I think we must discover it and we must pursue it as well. Now, the next is the sixth life lesson we learn too late in our life is become financially literate and financially responsible as well. So, dear friends and fellows, so not only, financially literate, we should be better able to understand what are the finance, what we have to do with the finances, how can we manage it well, how to earn our finances, how to save our finances, how to reinvest our finances, how to take the maximum advantage of our finances, finance and everything else which is relevant to us important about the finances. We need to learn it. Finance is a power, money is energy. We can do a lot of things with the help of the money. So, in the absence of money, there is quite a bad handicap, my dear friends and fellows. So, we need to become financially literate on the one hand, financially responsible on the other hand. Mean we need to utilize our money. We need to handle and manage our money in quite a responsible manner so that we don't have to regret and repent later on. So that was the life lesson number 6. And the life lesson number 7, which we learn too late in our life, is practice unconditional self acceptance. Something very, very important indeed. Many of us have, are not accepting us because of the poor performance, because of certain bad things done by us. So I think that that is something which keeps us troubled psychologically, which keeps us very unhappy and disturbed mentally. So for all of that reason, what is needed here is, what we need to do here is that, my dear friends and fellows, we need to practice unconditional self acceptance. Unconditional self acceptance. I think that we need to accept ourselves despite all the weaknesses I am having, despite all the weaknesses you are having. We need to accept ourselves. If at all we are not going to accept ourselves, who else is going to do that? Maybe we are talking to others like I have accepted myself, but here, deep down in the psychology, we need to accept ourselves. If at all we are not accepting ourselves, we will keep ourselves in the total trouble. So my dear friends and fellows, we need to unconditionally accept ourselves. So that was the life lesson number 7. And excuse me, we learn too late in our life. And the life lesson number 8, which we learn too late in our life, is leave behind a positive legacy. Leave behind a positive legacy. Legacy, everybody leaves certain things to be handled and managed by the people who follow them. So my dear friends and fellows, we need to do it in quite a good way. And we should be a problem solver. We should be a part of the solution, not to be a part of the problem at all. Do not create the troubles and the problems for other people. Rather, we need to solve it. We need to solve, or we should be helpful. We should be helpful in the solution of the problems of the other people. That is very important. So, my dear friends and fellows here in Pakistan and abroad, so I think that here in our own religious language of Islam, we call it Sadaqah-e Jariyah, means something which will keep benefiting the other people for a longer period of time, for a good period of time. So, my dear friends and fellows, it is really important. It is very, very, very important indeed that we people leave something positive, something to be benefited and enjoyed by other people, and it should not be hurtful or it shouldn't be harmful at all for the people once we leave here, once we leave this world, so that certain people should say that this person has benefited me, but this person who is deceased now did not harm, did not create the troubles and the problems for the other people. So that is leaving behind a positive legacy. So, dear friend, these are the 8 very, very important life lessons which we people, we, the men and the women, learn too late in our life. Today we have talked about it. So, I think it is very beneficial for me. It is very beneficial for my listeners as well. So, let's try to benefit from it. And let's try to, tell the other people about these life lessons. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz on Nasir.